Well, 5 Namibians returned from the United States last week after attending a 6-week intensive program of the Young African Leaders Mandela Washington Fellowship Summit, or YALI, in Washington. Onesmus Shoombe, a participant of YALI, and Pricilla Hernandez, the Corporate Affairs Officer at the Embassy of the United States of America, now joins us to give us some insight with regards to this. Very good morning to you, and thank you very much for making time out to join us.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Yeah. Well, Onesmus, before we speak to you, Pricilla, can you perhaps just put YALI in perspective for us? What exactly is YALI all about?
Okay, so the Young African Leaders Initiative is a group of about 140,000 young African leaders who come together and form a network, literally an online network. About 500 people a year get selected to go to the United States as part of the Mandela Washington Fellowship. Okay. They travel, they go to universities, they meet President Obama, and they basically talk about ways to take what they learn in the United States, come back to Namibia, and apply local solutions to local challenges.
Mm-hmm. Well, Onesmus, from your side, when you initially applied, I mean, did you think that you were going to make it?
Good morning. Yes, I have applied in 2014, okay, and then 2015. Then I had a passion that I will make it. I was really hoping that I had to make it.
All right. Yeah. How was the experience like for you then?
I had a good experience in the United States when it comes to leadership and networking. It was all about networking. When I'm back home, because I have to keep in contact with the host university, that is Arizona State University, and also the people that I have met, the African from different countries, Sub-Saharan Africa. And this is not only to say our network end in the United States, because we have a book that was composed for faces and our emails that we can always keep in contact.
Mm-hmm. Well, we know that with regards to YALI, of course, you look at different streams, whether it's entrepreneurship, whether it's public governance, etc. From the 5 participants that went this year, which sectors did they represent?
Okay, there were actually 9 that went.
Oh, okay.
5 came back this past weekend. Right. There's several that are going to be trickling in. We have one, for example, that's still there on an internship. She earned an extra 8 weeks. But they can study public management, which is if you want to be sort of in the political realm, government, something like that. There's civic leadership and there's business and entrepreneurship. And we divide them equally. We try to get a good representation across sector for the whole continent, not just Namibia.
Okay. But in terms of this, what are some of the key issues that were discussed there during your time on Onesmus?
Okay, one of the key elements is governance and transparency.
Okay, so you chose the public...
I know, I was on the civics leadership.
Civic leadership, all right.
Yes. One of the things that stood for me was governance and transparency, and also community engagement. You know, most of the times when you have projects, we just take the project to the community without really making a lot of research of what the community wants. And later, when there is no impact, we start to blame the community, but of course we are supposed to, you know, contact the community in the first place. Those are some of the things that really stood for me. And then transparencies. When we have projects going on, is that a project transparency? Are we really, getting the community feedback, or we are not? Yeah.
So there's more looking at how to strengthen your community involvement as well as transparency.
Exactly.
In terms of the work that you do.
Exactly, and also to empower people. You know, when you empower a person, that will go in the future. It's not only ending up there, because that person will keep on inspiring others. Yeah.
So there's actually practical training involved besides just visiting some of the historical sites and etc. in the States.
Absolutely, and not only that, but we were talking yesterday with some of the fellows that returned, and they do the classroom instruction, they do the networking, but they also do a lot of volunteer work themselves. So they go and get to have experience to the way NGOs work in the United States, what works, what doesn't work. You know, basically we want people to learn from our example and then take it back, apply it. And I think something Onesmus said is really important. He applied once, didn't get in, and then tried again and got in. And I think that's really important. We're looking to double the numbers this year. So we really encourage, you know, we had, 600 applications the first year we did this, just from Namibia. And so he's just a prime example of how persistence it really does pay off.
It really does pay off. You mentioned that one of the participants are still there. They on an 8-week internship. They earned it. Yeah. That was the word that you used. What exactly happened there?
Okay, so they all get to, anyone who applies gets to sign up if they want an extra additional 8-week internship. And they go everywhere, you know, I wouldn't say it's a competition, but everybody is watching to see who stands out, who's very passionate about a particular issue. So fellows get selected for different types of things. Last year we had someone do an internship with Coca-Cola. We had someone do an internship in Seattle. We had some fellows who come back and then choose to do an internship in another African country. So there are all kinds of different opportunities that are really geared towards professional development.
That's fantastic. Going forward now, of course, the big question is how does one build on this? Are there other programs, perhaps, that former YALI participants can get involved in, or is there assistance going forward from the side of the embassy as well, if they get involved in new projects and so forth?
Yes, as a matter of fact, the small grants are available. So, for example, if Onesmus wants to do something in working with sports and youth, for example, he can come back, tell us his ideas, generate energy in his community and apply for small grant opportunities. He can apply for an internship if he'd like to. He can, one of the things they're going to do is go out on a road show and basically teach all of the young people across Namibia what they learned and the resources that they can access. There are free online courses that anybody who joins the YALI network can take advantage of. You don't have to be a fellow who was selected. Just by joining, you open up a world of resources.
And access to information. Onesmus, going forward from your side, what's next for Onesmus?
What is next is that, like what Pricilla have said, I'll be going out to give the feedback to the young people in Namibia, and my focus will be on the north part soon. And the other thing is that I'm passionate about youth development sport, which I'm working. For now, I have so many ideas, and you know, it's time for me to narrow down and then to prioritize.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Thank you very much for making time to come and join us. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
All right. We go for Onesmus Shoombe, participant of YALI, and Pricilla Hernandez, the Corporate Affairs Officer at the Embassy of the United States, just joining us here in the studio. Stay with us. One important thing, of course, is to visit the Culture Center. And this is one thing I wanted to ask before we go. When is the next round of selections taking place in terms of applications and so forth?
That's a very good question. People should start preparing now for their essays, which is why these guys are going to start traveling around, sort of do some tips, helpful hints for applying. Around late October, November is when the application process starts. It's online, so people just need to stay in touch with us, go to our Facebook page, U.S. Embassy Windhoek, and they can get all the latest information. But they really should start thinking now about what they want to put in their essay. Why are they a leader? What does their community need, and what are they going to do about it?
That's fantastic. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We have it. So it's very, very clear now. By October, you can, of course, apply. But for more information, you can always pass by the American Cultural Center here in Windhoek at the Sanlam Building to get more information with regards to this and other opportunities. Stay with us. When we come back,